Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Tin Shed Shenanigans. Today is part 2 of the Snapper Zero Turn. So if you haven't seen part 1, I highly recommend that you go check that out so you're not lost in any way. But today we have our new PTO switch. It has arrived and we're going to be getting this running. So let's just dive right into that. Notice if the sound quality is better. I've got my microphone on this time so it won't be me screaming at the camera trying to get it to sound decent. So hope it's an improvement after the first part of this. Like I said, our new PTO switch came in and it looks almost exactly like the old one. I'm gonna just put this trash in my pocket. I will be turning off the microphone when I crank this thing, just that way y'all aren't getting like blasted with noise. Because I don't think that'd be very kind of me to do that. Yeah, I can get a better visual now. So, if you see, there's supposed to be, if it'll focus, come on. If you hear opera music, that would be my neighbors blasting opera music. It's not going to focus for some reason. Well, if I sit still long enough, maybe? Okay. Either way, there's supposed to be 2 prongs right here that look like they've been broken off or chewed off. So let's get that stuck in there. And then I'm going to fire it up and we will see if the blades work. So like I said, I've taken off my microphone and I've put it on the camera stand because I don't think it'd be very kind of me to start this thing with the microphone and y'all get deafened. So I'm going to fire this thing up and we'll see if the PTO works. Come on now. Well, as you can see, the PTO does work and both front tires came right back off the beads. So I'll have to get new front tires for that. I was kind of worried about that. They both leaked a little bit, so I was kind of worried about that. But at least we know. Now we know it operates, it runs, it drives, PTO works. All the important things work. So now it'll be on to getting everything cleaned up again, putting new tires on it, and doing an oil change. And yeah, it runs good. It runs fantastic, actually. So she needs another bath just because I got all the bulk of it off. But yeah, and then I need to straighten out the front wheels, or the deck wheels. I don't know if y'all really could see all that, so I'm gonna bring y'all in a little bit. If you see, that one's a little bent, and that one is also crooked. It just needs to be straightened, but that bracket needs to be completely reconfigured because they're supposed to look like this. So yeah, but we'll straighten that back out. We'll see if we can't find some new front tires and get those ordered, and hopefully they'll be in before this weekend. I think they should be, and that way I can get oil filter and get the front tires ordered. Then we'll grease everything up. I'll get those front wheels straightened out. And yeah, so let me get y'all set up and then we'll get those things straightened out, get everything like it should be, check the belts, and go from there. All right, I've got the wheels almost straightened out. I gotta straighten this back one. Fairly well straight. I'm gonna add some air to this tire. I'm gonna get the air filter number and oil filter number so I can replace both of them. Maybe I'll just clean this. I'll be smart and replace them. So there is not a number on this, but I'm sure I could find a number somewhere. And then I'm gonna look for some tires. I think Tractor Supply carries. Yeah, everything replaces there. There's a lot of just junk built up in it. Ooh, that was a little warm. It's a Briggs & Stratton oil filter, so that's good. I know y'all can't see me. That filter, I don't see a number on it. But there it is, the genuine part number. Part number is a 695 396. I'm saying that so I can go back and look at that when I'm ready. So we'll get an air filter, an engine oil filter. We'll probably do a spark plug as well. So I'll have to get that out and see what number that is. And that way we can do a little tune up, do a little service on this thing. And it will be better, run a little smoother probably. And then we'll get some front tires. Probably put a little more gas in her. But other than that, I think she's ready to go. So I'll get these other parts either ordered or see where I can get them. Hopefully get them soon, because we're doing a garage sale this weekend, so I can't really film and do that at the same time. But yeah, she runs, she drives. I was really worried about these front tires, but I'll get some, and I'll use my mini tire changer, and I'll film while I'm doing that. One of my subscribers pointed out to me, because I didn't even think to look at this, there's a little rubber boot around the bottom of that's where you're supposed to put the tire on, or the wheel on, so it doesn't slip like I've been doing the whole time. So really want to thank you for pointing that out. I had no idea because I didn't read the instructions at all, one bit. So thank you for that. I really appreciate that. So yeah, let's get this back under the lean-to so we can get some parts ordered, and I'll get back whenever those parts come in. I know I've really shown it on the channel. If I don't break something first, like myself. Oh, that came off. That's fine. I'll put that back on. I think it came off when I was getting on the trailer the first time. There it goes. Nope. There we go. I don't know if I've ever shown it on the channel, but my wife does crochet, and she crocheted me this little pliers holster, because I would always lose my pliers, or I'd set them down somewhere and not remember where I had them. And I had it on my toolbox or my workbench for a while, and I couldn't find it, and I found it while I was cleaning up the other day. So it's really handy to just have a pair of pliers right here. She can make all kind of crochet things. So maybe around the same time that I start selling my merchandise, if she wanted to, if there's enough demand for it, I'm sure she could make a few of these to put on there and kind of test the water, see what y'all think. But let me get these parts ordered, and then I'll get back with y'all. So on top of needing an oil filter, an air filter, and a spark plug, I also now need a coil, because it decided that it wanted to rust to the end of the spark plug. Oh, that was not on there at all. And I went to go take it off, and it decided that it was just gonna break. And as soon as I cut the camera off, it started running kind of funny. Almost like it knew I'd mentioned getting a new spark plug. This spark plug looks fine. A little rusty, but I don't see any issues with it. But with it being rusty, yeah, see if y'all can see that. It'll focus. There it goes. Yeah, let me see if I can just get it out. Oh, it is a champion. Yeah, there's some corrosion on the tip. Really rusty. It's really hot too, probably because the engine was just running. So I'm gonna find a coil, oil filter, air filter, and front tires. And then, yeah. All right, today is Friday. It's very windy out. My parts came in minus my tires. So if you'll notice, I have everything pulled up. I don't know how well y'all can hear me. I kind of noticed my mic wasn't doing a great job, but I'll have to do a little more playing with that. The little cover's pulled up. I got to do a coil on it, because like I said, the coil boot and everything decided to stay together, and at the end, the spark plug. I was going to use this as a prime example of, the best way to put a coil in and get your spacing right and everything, and your shimming right. And I was going to use an old method that my grandpa taught me, which is you use a business card. Well, the ignition coil I got is from He Peng Outdoor Equipment, and they came with a card to install. It's just a business card. That is the thickness that you need for the spacing between the magnet and the coil. So it came with their business card to install the coil. So I'm going to get this coil installed, get everything spaced, do an oil change, spark plug, and we'll run it. My tires won't be here till Monday, so that will not be in this video, sadly. So that's, I'll do a little short on that so y'all will still be able to see, you know, doing that small of tires in the mini tire machine. But I'm going to go ahead, stop yapping, get this done, put everything back together, drive it, do the oil change, you know, make sure everything's good, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll. Alright, so when you are doing a coil, these are just little 8mm. I can't get in here with a ratchet because I don't want to pull the bolts that are holding this big bracket in, because I'm worried they're going to break. So we are going to use a wrench, get this thing out of the way, and then we're going to simply bar the motor over by hand. These bolts, we don't use them. They're right here on the manufacturer's supply workbench, aka thing. Don't want to lose the card. It's simply 2 bolts. One little wire. Remember, the bolt's going to be about 1.5 million miles long. Whenever you're trying to undo it by hand. It's always the important part to remember. Doing any repair is any bolt you're trying to undo by hand immediately becomes about 15 feet long, and you sit there forever trying to undo it. Undo the simple spade connector, and there we go. We have our old coil on. And then you're just going to make sure your bolt spacing lines up, and got the wire, coil. Spark plug wrench off, reconnect our spade. Yeah, if you hear gunshots, it's probably my brother-in-law out in the background. I'm not entirely sure what he's shooting at. Just living on the farm. There's gunshots. You kind of get used to that. It's connected. So this one's shaped a little different. So we may have some issues. No, we won't. A little issue. We have to do some slight modifying to this wire, make it a little bit longer so we can plug into this coil. And then, so I'm going to do that, and then we're going to back whenever I'm getting everything spaced out. Okay, I've got the coil in, or not the coil. I got the wire repaired. For some reason the microphone's kind of messing up. I'm not really sure what that's about. I need to do some reading about this thing, because I've got it connected, but it seems like it doesn't want to pick up when I'm wearing it. So I guess, I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. Maybe I don't have the right audio selected on my phone. I've got to order a new wire for my camera to be able to accept this, because I had one and then I guess it got misplaced somewhere, and I've still got to order a new one. So yeah, let me see what would be the best angle for y'all. Let me get that figured out first. Okay, I just ixnayed the microphone because I've started doing some looking on my phone. Apparently it's only set up to charge the device, because I'm a whole bunch of gobbledygook that I'm not gonna get into. I gotta find a place to put this cover so it's not in the way of me trying to spin this engine over. There's the magnet. Back some. Magnet is close enough. You're going to stick the little card that they sent and push it against that. Stick it, or push it against the flywheel is probably the better thing I should have said. And that's basically just going to be like almost a feeler gauge, but not using a feeler gauge. Because you can use a feeler gauge to do this, but why would you do that when you could just use a business card? And you just make sure that business card can slide in and out easy. And we'll get this tightened back up. Alright, yep, and it rotates and doesn't hit. Bend this heat shield back because I bent it out of my way. Keep that. We'll use it in the future in case another company doesn't think ahead like they did and provide one. I'll get all this hooked back up, everything bolted back up, and I'll do an oil change. And then I'll drive it around, make sure everything's good, and I guess that'll be the end of this part. Alright, so we got the oil change, spark plug and coil done, air filters completely serviced. I don't have the front tires yet, so I won't be able to do those. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This video is just pretty much getting it mowing and getting it serviced and everything. So we got that done. We know it mows. We got it serviced. Everything still works. Sunday's Easter, so I hope everyone who's watching this is gonna have a good Easter. My tires don't come in until Monday, but I'll do a little short video on that. But yeah, that's the old snapper. It's been sitting since 2020. Did some electrical work to it, everything like that. I'm getting all this set back up. I'm gonna figure out the microphone. The next couple of videos maybe on the camera, but week after next I'm actually going to Kentucky, so I'll have to figure out something. On the way we're gonna stop at the motorcycle museum, so I may do a little filming there. But yeah, guys, that's been part 2 of the Snapper Zero Turn. We got it running and driving and mowing again after sitting for 5 years. Yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I know this was a shorter video, but yeah, I really appreciate it. We're at almost 90 subscribers. I'm thinking I'm gonna open an Etsy shop online. I'll put my link in the description and the link in my channel description once I get there. We're gonna have a different style of hats than these. I'll have a few of these to put on there, but I actually went with a local company called River Banks Engraving, and and they do like leather patches and stuff and like metal engravings, and I actually had them make me some hats. So, you know, huge shout out to Riverbanks Engraving. I highly suggest that, you know, they've got a website. They're here local in Picayune. If you're in Picayune, you need leather hats, baseball trophies, anything like that made, a leather patch, you know, anything like that, give them a call. Miss Rhonda was super nice, super helpful lady. They're on West Canal. But yeah, y'all make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share. I really appreciate it. And thank you for watching another episode of 10 Shed Shenanigans.